Smells like shampoo.
Hello, my darling wastelanders. I am more to me for light, and we are back at Vault 88 for the Little Lamp Light build. And today, we are working on MacCready Manor. Here, riding shotgun with me is my wonderful sidekick, my mini-me, Tigress.
Hello!
Yes, I called you my mini-me. It's been a while.
I will lick your face. On recording.
She's giving me that eat shit look. Alright, so we are going to start out trying to build the most awkward staircase we can possibly build up this rock shaft thing in the middle of the, I've had too much coffee. My bad. This, yeah, this rock face that I have erected in the, you know there's really no way of saying that, right?
Yeah.
The rock thing that is sticking out in the center of the build area. That's about as clean as it's gonna get, ladies and gentlemen. Way too much coffee. Way too much coffee. My bad.
Oh, I'm spending too much time with the kids.
That too. Okay, so the whole point in this, and I did have somebody ask me during a live stream one time, what the purpose in this build was, but it was just kind of a gimmick to try and get people to watch the video. No, the little lamp light is not just a gimmick. My idea for this build was, okay, at the end of the game, they run into the Vault Dweller, and the Vault Dweller from 88. Not 88, it's 101.
Yeah.
Vault 101. Alright, well, these children having run into this Vault Dweller probably would have changed in some way. Now, obviously, MacCready left, and some other people left, but I'm operating under the supposition that maybe they learned something from this Vault Dweller. Maybe they learned that growing up isn't so bad. In which case, some of them would have stayed past 18 and would have actually built up, or possibly even let in outsiders, in which case the area would have been built up a little bit more than what it was whenever you see it in Fallout 3. So that is what I'm going after, is what would happen if those children actually grew up and built a town rather than just like I don't know, a wasteland orphanage. Maybe if it actually grew into a town.
Wasteland Orphanage.
Yeah, that's kind of what it is.
That's my next build.
The Wasteland Orphanage. Well, then you need that mod with the Wasteland Orphans or something like that. We'd have to get that. Actually, I was already considering getting that because I still think there would be a lot more children here,
Yeah, seriously.
even if all these vault dwellers, not vault dwellers, even if the little lamplighters did grow up, there would still be children here, and it's very hard to get children settlers to come to your settlement. It's actually practically impossible without that mod, which is ridiculous. I never understood why you could build a crib if you weren't going to be able to have children in your settlement. Not that they would be sleeping in a crib. They're a little too old for that. But the point being...
That's when you bring in the itty bitty mini beds.
Yeah. Then we need mini beds. You have baby dolls in the cribs. Yeah, that'll work.
Take those little huts that I put in Sanctuary and just make them little playhouses to shrink the cribs down, put baby dolls in them.
That's right. Now, right here, I put the platform in just to try and give myself some work room because I know how I am whenever it comes to building. Regardless to whether or not I have the ability to turn collision on and off, I tend to forget that unless it's convenient, in which case whenever I fall, it's obviously not convenient. For me to find the easiest way back up, I have to, well, fall and then walk all the way back around my settlement.
Which is hilarious.
It's irritating, especially during the editing process.
Nah, that's just for her.
But after I got the whole thing built with a decent enough platform, I wanted to go back and make it smaller. That way it would actually look like this building fits on the side of this rock face. I think I managed to keep that clean, right?
You fell.
See, I told you. And look, I gotta walk all the way around. No turning collision off and finding the easiest way up. I've gotta walk all the way back around. What the hell? And no worries, the bridge areas will be fixed. It's just a way for me to get back and forth between the builds. The bridges and the lighting are the two last things that I'm going to fix because they're going to be the ones that are in my way the most while I'm decorating and building. And let's see, this is number 5. Number 6, we start on the actual decoration. And
Put the corner there.
wait for it. Jeez, always second guessing me. I love those little corners. By the way, those are awesome. I guess just because I haven't started out the game with those pieces, and just the fact that they're a different shape and different texture, I really, really like it. So I use it a lot. I mean, a lot.
I do too. I love that piece. Adds a lot more texture to the building.
All right, now we're going to step all the way down,
Jump all the way down.
and we're going to take a look at it, and then we're going to go back up. And I did cut out my whole going all the way back up thing. I did manage to do that. Yay! I guess I didn't catch my fall the last time, otherwise I would have edited it out before. But, let's see. Oh, I did want to share an experience. I had something of a culture shock on Friday. It was really, really weird, and I'm not sure exactly why it was really, really weird for me.
You mean when we ran into that New Yorker at Subway?
Yes. For those of you who don't know, we're Southern folk here. We're Georgians. And it's not very often that we run into a whole lot of people from other places. Now, we have run into a lot more of them in the last couple of years because the movie industry has taken off. But we were just standing in Subway, and my husband and I were going through our usual debate about whether or not a particular person's butt was cute. My husband is an ass man, and we were discussing this particular butt in front of us, because that's just how we communicate. We're weird like that.
Yeah.
But anyway, a few minutes later, this lady tries the sweet tea, and apparently it was too sweet, and my husband just pops off with it just a little too sweet. And she's like, yes, I'm trying to fit in with y'all. Well, the way she was talking was obviously very different, but come to find out, she was actually in Georgia for a funeral, but she's actually from New York. Now, the culture shock actually started when she told us she had had such a bad experience down here, thinking that we were all Southern belles, and that everybody down here was nice, but she didn't run into any nice folks, and that apparently there were people who had issues with her being Puerto Rican. I had no idea she was Puerto Rican, and until she actually engaged us.
Pretty lady.
She was a very pretty lady. And oddly enough, I found out her New York accent did not bother me the way the ones on TV do. So I think the way that they do it on TV is exaggerated.
Yeah, probably very exaggerated.
Well, I've watched The Walking Dead, and their Southern accent is way exaggerated.
Yeah.
So it was kind of a culture shock just to find out that someone from the outside came here and didn't have, you know, the normal experience that we've come to expect. We pride ourselves on Southern hospitality, but it also occurs to me that some people just may not get our humor.
We tend to be very, very blunt people.
Very blunt, very, very sarcastic, and in my case, very cheesy.
Yeah.
I don't have good jokes, I have cheesy jokes. But, maybe it just doesn't translate that well. And then she informed us that she was used to Kardashian type of people. And the only thing... Say it again.
Kardashian.
Yes, the Kardashians.
Like Kim Kardashian and people like that.
Okay, well, my problem with that is if she's valuing someone's kindness on that kind of a standard, there's something wrong already, because in my opinion, they're fake. And that essentially bothers me, and I don't like fake people. Now, you can be nice to people you don't like. I guess that's just being kind and
Killing them with kindness.
Killing them with kindness. And also, you know, keeping your job, because you can't kill everybody that irritates you. Otherwise, I would have, you know, I'm not going to say that in case it ever happens, and that would incriminate me. But the point is people are a lot more real down here. There's not that smile and pat each other on the back, I don't really know you, but I'm going to act like your best friend for 5 minutes type of feel down here. It just doesn't happen. So it may not have actually been the fact that she was New Yorker and that she was Puerto Rican. I think the problem might have been she was used to a higher class than that you would find in Thomaston. Which
Most
is
of us down here are poor folk.
Some of these small towns like Butler and Pike County, and I think we have a Bacon County and a Coffee County. And
yeah, we do.
okay, I mean, most of those are very, very poor folks and are very, very salt of the earth, farm their own food type of people, which means they don't have time for small talk, and they don't have time for, I don't know, niceties that aren't really actually meant. They say what they mean. But it still was very, very shocking to me that she came all the way down here and had such a bad experience, especially since she was down here for a funeral. Mm-hmm. That kind of bothered me. So, I don't know. I spent the entire day pondering this. And it was just, I have to wonder whether or not Northern United States and Southern United States really are separate cultures.
We probably are.
And I guess if you've gone from one to the other, you really do see that. I lived in Ohio for 1 year, and I ran back down here so fast. They were so rude. I mean, children getting hurt during a football practice, and the parents just watch, and the child walks away from the practice crying, and nobody stops the game. Nobody runs up to the kid to see whether or not the kid was okay. I mean, that bothered me.
That probably.
And
I would not have been a good person. I probably would have been kicked completely off the field.
That
And probably arrested.
it wasn't necessarily how they treated me up there. It was how they treated each other is what I based it on, because I'm very antisocial, so them treating me differently, it really didn't bother me so much. Not to mention I do in some cases have a bad southern drawl, which means I stood out anyway, and since I'm not social at all, it didn't bother me so much people not talking to me, but it was how they treated each other. The nicest people I ran into were from Australia, and I was in Ohio.
Australian people are actually very nice.
Well, they were very, very sweet. And when I came back south, I was like, you know what, I am never going back up north again. And then for her to come and say the same thing to me about how rude us southerners were, and I was like, really? Really?
I ran home.
I ran home because of you folks. And then for her to say that she based that on how Cardassians act, and I'm like, really? No, you aren't pulling my foot here. You're actually comparing real people to the Cardassians. You hang out with folks like that. No, this has nothing to do with North and South. This is a class difference. You are in a poor town. Yeah. I mean, there are no businesses here. None. You have to go out of town in order to find a business unless you want to work at a fast food restaurant.
Which is probably going to be my first job.
Yeah, most likely, to be honest. But anyway, that's enough of my culture shock. Y'all let me know if y'all have had any similar instances. Let us ponder these things together.
I want to mention something on the build. You were playing with that door for so long.
I really was, and I thought about cutting it out, but I kind of didn't. It just didn't happen.
Yeah.
Honestly, I tried to make these things right at like 30 minutes long and then make them faster so that they would fit into 10 to 15 minutes, but it was like, okay, I can cut the door out, and it might actually be a very short video, or I could just show this and then show the entranceway, which actually is pretty cool, so I just left it. But that is just about all of our time. Let us know in the comments if you've run into any similar situations, and we will talk to you lovely people later. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.